Hey, we're going to build the semi today. Don't forget you can go online and look at the instructions of how to build it. I do things a little differently. Don't let all the measurements scare you. This is a toy, it's supposed to be fun. I'll walk you through the quick and simple way to do it. First off, we're going to start with the wheels because if you think about it, the wheels will determine the size of everything else of the vehicle. Now the important part is we have to get 10 wheels out of this. So the simplest way I know, besides just picking up the ruler, is if you take the square rod, the larger size, use that. That's a good way, that's a good estimate, right? Now we'll just cut the rest of these. Let's drill out their centers. Get the small drill bit, and as I've shown you before, start on one side, drill in a little bit, pull it out, flip it over, start on the other side, drill it out, and repeat. Pick up one of your 3/4 rod. We need to cut this into 3 equal pieces. It's okay if you're off a little bit on the first ones. Take the middle size piece and use it to cut the next 3. Alright, now let's assemble our axles. Okay, we're going to build the body of the truck now. The important thing to think about is when you cut this, we need to have enough left off the front of this board to make the body of the truck. So you can't use the whole length of this. Okay? So the easiest way I think to do it is just take your drill and leave about 3/4 of an inch on this side. Put your drill bit down, 3/4 of an inch on the other side. That will be our thing. We'll just cut our hole now. Okay? Use the 3/4 about here. Okay, this will be the body of our truck. Now we're going to repeat. Okay, we'll set these aside for now. Okay, and cut your third body piece. Okay, set that aside too. Let's take these 3 pieces and we will construct the semi-body. First we have to give it some shape. You can measure all this or you can just follow your instincts. But basically, you want to make a shape like this with a circle in the center and a cut for the front. Alright. Now, using the other piece, we'll screw these together. We now have the body shape. Get a piece of the 1/4 inch. Using it as a template, using the body as a width template, cut a slice off. We'll use this to make the front and the top of the truck. Come up to the top of the truck, estimate the size of piece you'll need, cut it. Go to the front of the truck, estimate the size of piece you'll need, cut it. This last piece we'll use it whatever size it happens to be. I'm going to vary from the instructions a little bit and use the hinges to make a creative detail up front. So take your hinges, pop them apart. Using 2 that are the same, it doesn't matter if you use these 2 or these 2. We're going to go to the front of the vehicle now. So taking the piece of small foam you've cut for up there, place one of your hinge pieces here and drive the nails through that. This helps it look a little bit like headlights. Let's come to our roof and install that. Install the back piece. Come around to the back, take your drill, and we have to put in a hole. Let's add detail to the semi-body. Using a piece of scrap I have, I'm going to cut an angle. Now we'll have this small piece with the bevel, and we're going to put that on top. This is a little big, so I will now trim it down and attach it. I would use screws to make life easier here. We're going to make the smokestacks. Get a piece of square rod. Cut a piece that will look good there. If you cut both of those at once, they will now be the same size. Drill them out using the technique I've shown before. Get a piece of 3/4 rod. Put it into the smokestack. Figure about how tall you want it to be. You can also look here. Something nice and tall. Put a bit of an angle when you cut it. Pull this one out. Line it up and use it for the second smokestack. I'm going to attach the smokestacks differently than they do. I'm going to use screws from the inside. They use long nails. Check the angle of your smokestack before you attach the second one. Take your 3 pieces that we've cut before of 3/4, put 2 aside, taking one of them, put it behind the semi-bed. This is the width of your truck. So I'm going to make it just a little bit wider. Put that aside. Now we must figure the height of our semi. I think about here will look good, so I'm going to cut off this much. Stacking these two will make it easier to cut them at the same time. Even if they're not perfect, at least they're the exact same. So we will now nail this to the base piece from before. It's easier to put your nails in first and then hammer them. Put the sawn side against the body when you nail it. That way the factory edge will be up. This is the trailer of the semi. Take these two because they're the same size. Using some of your scrap that you've cut off from before, cut a body piece. If you want to be decorative, go ahead and add a little angle. Take another piece, take the remnant, line up your angle there, and continue your cut. We'll use both of these. Grab a piece of your thin sheet. Using this as a guide, cut a piece that's just a little bit bigger. You can measure or just eyeball it and decide what looks to be approximately square. We're going to add some notches. Take the pieces we've just cut, line up the angles again. Make sure everything is centered. And put your tires. Figure out what distance you want them, give a little bit of a gap. I'm going to use the longest screws that we have and put them in. Make sure everything is still lined up before you set the second axle. We have the rear component. Let's finish off the semi-trailer. Taking a piece of your 1/4 sheet, line it up to the back, make a cut, use it to make another piece as a template. Now lay this sideways and cut. Using some nails, let's attach these now, the front and back piece. Okay, let's attach the rear tire assembly. In the instructions, they show 4 nails coming in at angles. You can do that. I think I'm going to do it a little differently, and I'm going to put in 4 screws from the inside. If you have smaller hands, this will be easier for you. I'm just going to put 2 in the center here. Time to go to the front of the semi. Using a bit of your scrap from the trailer bed assembly, we're going to make another piece for the middle here. I'm going to cut this down. Let's attach our first 2 tires about the same distance apart as the rear. Add your third set of tires a little bit further back. Give a separation. We can cut this just right behind the rear tire. In this gap in here, close to this rear axle, put a small hole. So now we can put this together and see how our spacing is looking. It's looking pretty good. Flip over our trailer. This is too tall, so we can cut that off. Let's add the rest of the body details. First, let's attach the axles to the bottom of the vehicle using some nails. Take a piece of your 3/4 rod square, cut an angle, hold it up to your tires, figure out about how long you want it to be, and then cut your other angle. Match that. Lastly, we have to put the front on the truck. Find a piece of your leftover 3/4. We want to go as wide as from fender to fender, just maybe a little bit on the inside. So we need to drill some holes here, but they're going to be close, so drill very carefully. Little back and forth motions. Alright, now if you get clogged, take a long screw, screw it in, and then pull it out, and your trash should come with it. Or you can also use the little saw to pick it out. That'll make your coals cleaner. Next two. Taking a bit of your 3/4 rod, cut off 2 chunks. Taking a piece of your square 3/4, 2 chunks. Now I know a square peg doesn't normally go into a round hole, but in this case it will because of the foam we're using. And then put the round pegs on top. This just gives you a little bit of visual variety. You could cut a piece of your thin foam and put it on here, but since I've shown you the hinge trick before, I've got a little piece of hinge left over. I'm going to put that on the front and it'll look like a license plate. Taking 2 long screws, line up your screws with this bottom here and attach. Okay, there's the front. On the back, I'm going to install a bumper, also with a license plate. I'm going to take one extra piece. So we will now take a piece of 3/4, the 1/4 or the 3/4 square, the license plate, and we're going to drive screws into that. When you hit the bottom stop, we're not all the way complete. Lift this up and install it to the bottom. Alright, so now we have a bumper and a license plate on the back. Okay, we've got the front of our truck. We've got the rear trailer. So we're mostly done. I realized something I messed up and a couple of customizations I want to do. So I forgot to put on this front detail from the instructions. That looks better. Now in the back, I didn't cut this piece right when I drilled the hole, so I'm going to do a little fix for you real quick. Using a piece of the 1/4. Cut a shape like this, add a hole. That will go over here. Now we're going to attach this to the trailer bed. I'm going to use a small screw in the front and a larger screw in the back, trying to go into the trailer side wall as well. That'll make everything sturdier. While we have this off, I'm going to add a screw from the top into this rear bumper assembly that I created, just to make it stronger. And I'm going to add some fenders on the side. So using a piece of scrap, I'll cut this in half, add some corners, and attach using a few nails. Now my truck is customized and pivots a lot better. Alright, so now all we have to do is load it up with a bunch of lumber